Welcome everyone to tonight's show. I'm your sexy talk, fembot, co-host, Aya. And we are live from CH1 Studios in beautiful, New Night City. It's the After Hours with OG. On tonight's show, we have special guest, that drop-dead gorgeous gamer girl with a linguistic talent for literature, GraylyRain. Commander Shepard's favorite, sexy sideburn sporting, streamer on the Citadel, Evocracy. On tonight's show, our special guests from CH1 will be talking about their streaming careers and what makes them love bringing the creative content that keeps bringing us back to the stream. Also, today's topic is the dream to stream, a discussion on stream tips and tricks to help you get started on your dream to stream. Also, get prepared to join along in chat and play What Would OG Do? And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next show. Or I will hijack Alexa and haunt you in your sleep. Just kidding. Now put your hands together for the host of The After Hours, my delicious organic meat popsicle, OG.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to The After Hours with OG. I'm your host, OG, the original gamer. And tonight we have a fabulous lineup for you guys tonight. I can't wait. We have some wonderful members of the CH1 community, my man, Evocracy in the house. Lovely guy, lovely streamer, awesome dude. Not to mention, we have the wonderful, beautiful GraylyRain. Wonderful streamer herself, and I can't wait to introduce you guys to them and have a little bit of fun with them. But as always, we're going to start off with something in particular that always runs across OG's desk. And, you know, me and GraylyRain have been talking some weird things lately, and for whatever reason, they have to do with masturbation. And for whatever reason, apparently, last month, there was a man who was arrested for allegedly masturbating several times on flight on a Southwest Airlines. So basically, I'll play this little video for you guys here. And basically, it's just a little TikTok, it looks like, or something like that, a little short. And it basically says, when the old man you're sitting next to on the plane starts watching plane porn, so you tell the flight attendants and now you're sitting first class. Now, I don't know about you guys, but masturbating on an airplane. It basically says here, a male passenger was arrested for allegedly exposing himself on masturbating 4 separate times. Hear this, people. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times this guy masturbated on the plane. And apparently it says that what he was doing was basically sitting next to a female. And he basically, shortly after taking off, and while the aircraft was in the air, McGarity exposed his penis by pulling down his pants and shorts and began masturbating. The female passenger was able to capture photo evidence of it. When the FBI agents interviewed him, he basically admitted to the masturbating and said he knew the female passenger was aware he could see his penis. He also said that he was aware that the female took the photo of him. He claims that he said to her if she minded if he masturbates, and she allegedly put her hands in the air and replied, "Really doesn't matter." So I don't know, man. That is something. That is, this is from Newsweek, so it's obviously some real shit. This is pretty, I don't know. Is it disturbing to you? Or do you think that the female's kink shaming him? I don't know. But one thing that we do know, people, because he has been banned for life now from flying on Southwest Airlines. If you want to travel with Southwest, be aware they are not okay with you masturbating on flight. So we will not masturbate on a Southwest Airlines flight. That is pretty funny, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I saw it. If I saw it, I don't know. I'm not really sure. Yeah, right? The noob got caught. He just got caught. That was the thing. Well, that's it for that monologue right there on the masturbating man of flight on Southwest Airlines. And the first person that we're going to bring to the table here today, a wonderful streamer, friend of mine, beautiful person, beautiful soul, talented streamer, and not to mention, I swear to God, she has a career in Audible. She's been a big part of my life. She's helped out a lot with the things that we do, and she's a big part of the CH1 community. So I want everybody to put your hands together and give a big round of applause for my girl, GraylyRain. There she is. There she is. I don't know why, but we will find out. There she is. How are you doing, Grayly? How are you doing today? Oh,
There we
hold
are.
on. There we go.
There we
There
are
you
now.
go. Can you hear it? Because everybody here are fine. Because I want to make sure. Yeah, there we go. I think so. So
That was my
Grayly.
oh Lord, I can't believe you brought that up again. And in my defense, I just want to say that I'm pretty sure that somebody brought it up before me. Like somebody brought it up, the whole angry masturbation thing up, and it got me thinking,
well,
that's all.
I'm just gonna say,
This is
I'm just letting you know, that may be a topic that comes up a little later on. So you guys hold on to that. But
Oh,
Grayly,
geez.
how are you doing, Grayly? How's life treating you?
Hello. Life's good. Life's good.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good. So let's let everybody know. So GraylyRain is a streamer on Twitch. She is also a mod and administrative manager for the CH1 Discord and channel. She does a lot of things. Not to mention, probably one of the most well-versed people that I know when it comes to literature. So Grayly, let everybody know about yourself and what got you into streaming. What got you into this?
Well, I never actually really intended to stream. That was never really going to be my thing. It was oh, I mean, there was a secret, as you know, there was a little secret dream that maybe I would be able to do it with somebody. But then a
Right.
girl's got to do things on her own. So
Right.
I had a great group of people around me, Evo and Monkey Fist and Valor, and lots of had been watched. You know, I always watched really great streamers on Twitch, and yeah, that's inspired me. And I saw a video actually by Devin Nash that also inspired me to just do it, just get it started, right? So I
Okay.
think,
Okay.
but honestly, modding for really great streamers is what got me into streaming, including Evocracy.
Well, how do you like
Um,
it? Like now that you're into it and everything like that, do you feel that passion now? Do you feel like this is a thing and you want to continue
oh,
doing it?
definitely, I love it.
Right.
And my way in really was like, what could I do that could add to the CH1 community, and what was going to also help me kind of feel comfortable with the whole thing, and that was doing reading streams. And at that, when I first started last November, so I'm still very noob compared to Evo and everybody else, but you yourself included, right? That I still feel like I'm in the early stages of all of this. But the way in that worked best for me was really doing the reading streams and getting started with that, and picking out
Okay.
books on the public domain and then reading aloud. And then they
Well,
created a category for it.
Oh, so they did. So there's an actual like
When I
readers.
first started in November, there was no category, and I was doing it under ASMR. I was trying a few different categories, and then shortly after I got started, they created the reading fun category. And so then straight away I went into that one.
Oh wow.
And then have pretty much that's yeah, reading fun.
Well, who knows that you might have actually kind of sparked that trend there. Who knows? That might be Grayly's doing, guys. But with that being said, with that, you getting into the reading now. I know you've always gamed, but now with the reading in it, is there any other current projects, or I mean, you're going to continue with reading? Is that going to be kind of a staple that you kind of carry on in your streams?
Yes, there will always be some type of reading stream moving forward. I do like the gaming. I have a lot of fun with the gaming, and I like the variety aspect. I like being able to switch up games, and but that reading stream for me is my very chill time, and yeah,
Right,
it'll
right.
stay. It might change in some aspects, change times, days, that sort of thing, but there'll always be a reading stream.
Well, how hard
Current
is it to
project?
to read books? How is it? I mean, because is there copyright issues involved with that, or
Well, there are. I need to go to the public. I need to choose books on the public domain, basically, and
okay,
so well to ensure that that stays all above board. But I mean, I could do other books and then not keep the VODs. But ideally, I'd like to start putting some of my reading streams on YouTube, and I've been exploring that. That's really my current one of my current projects, besides
I
just
have seen them.
generally improving the stream.
Yeah, they do exist. I have seen them. So
Mm.
there's no number one bestsellers able to be read. Like you're not going to be able to do anything like that anytime soon, right?
No, not unless you get written permission from the author, which you can write authors and let them know what you're doing, and then get permission. But other
Okay.
than that, you're pretty much. I found enough on the public domain that's really interesting. At the moment, I'm reading sci-fi, kind of the golden age of
Yeah,
science
yeah.
fiction,
That
and
was an
really
interesting
enjoying
story. The
those
one the
short
other day
stories.
with the regurgitated packaged food or whatever that was. I was kind of
The
like
other ones
blown away
were,
by that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like
so
where
far I've
where does
been
that
really
come from?
lucky, but I did have a few like where the last three I read were kind of a bit strange and a bit different, and I didn't enjoy them as much, but still interesting to read. And a lot of the sci-fi authors got their start writing for Galaxy magazine, and
Right.
that's how I found all of these, and it was nice to
Okay.
find some on Project Gutenberg.
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you said something about projects. You got some projects going on there.
Oh, well, yeah, my current project really is getting my reading streams pushed over to YouTube, and just
Okay.
sorting out the music. The difference between how you do the music on Twitch and how YouTube likes to do their music, that's what's giving me headaches at the moment, but we'll figure it out, and then those reading streams will be available on YouTube as well.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, anything? Do you have any kind of current goals at the moment with streaming? Is there something you're shooting for? I mean, be it,
Well,
you
Evo called
know.
me an achievement whore, and so I would agree with that on some things. So right now, like I really am starting up with Twitch. Literally was just I'm using Twitch Studio. I might swap over. I am considering swapping over to OBS. But ideally, I'm just working through their what they're saying I need to be doing.
Okay.
So my current goals really include just growing the channel and finding good people and growing the casually hardcore Discord, but doing
Right.
it in a smart way so that it's slow and steady and yeah.
Nice and calculated. You don't want to rush into something and have it just overdrive and burn, right?
No, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I could easily see this becoming an all-consuming thing. And so for me, starting slow, only doing 3 streams a week, it's enough. And build up that sort of anticipation. I don't want to be doing too much at this point, and I don't think there's the audience just yet for that. But
Right.
eventually, yeah, eventually I'd like to go all the way. But for me, the end goal isn't partner.
Okay.
I think it's what I've noticed being on Twitch and modding for people is that so many streamers think that the end goal is making partner. And I've
Hmm.
seen people crash and burn after making partner. And I don't want to, I'm in for the longer haul than that. I would like to be
Right.
partner eventually one day, of course. But that's far in the future.
Okay.
So I
Not
think
something that you're like, oh, I need this to happen
I
immediately.
am not on path to partner right now at the moment.
Okay. But but I see it. I see it. I think we all
It's
can see
out
it.
over there, but I am here for the long term. And so really,
Right.
I mean ideally, like going back to my secret dream is I would find somebody to do this with.
Okay.
Um because I think streaming is hard. Streaming is a lot of
Oh,
hard work. And doing it on your own is I think having someone to do it with is would be a goal
right.
majorly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, like, and I mean, just kind
Not that
of,
that's the goal either, right? Like that sounds like yeah, that's not it's that I think it's finding people to share the load like we're doing in the Discord, right?
right,
It's a
right,
group
right.
thing and not an individual thing.
Well, with that being said, with all of the stuff that you've been doing recently with, CH1, the launching of your streaming career, I mean, just becoming that influencer, that content creator, that is there anything memorable that kind of just sits in you that says, hey, I'm never gonna forget this moment, and which is really ironic because just to let everybody know, and I don't know if you guys have got this either, but I was invited to a Twitch research community, and I accepted it, and basically they're gonna ask questions, do surveys, meet up with us on cam and stuff, and talk about ways to help grow Twitch and how to make Twitch a little bit better. But one of the questions they ask you in there is a memorable moment in Twitch. So, so is there something that you have that's like,
Actually, I mean for me the startup was pretty memorable because it's still so close, but my birthday stream was
ah,
for me for right now, that birthday stream was really a clincher. One, it was a great stream,
right,
uh, and a lot of fun. But more than that, it was at that moment that really I thought, and I decided that I would go, that I would monetize on Twitch, that I would go for the affiliate and start doing all of that. It was the birthday
right,
stream that pushed me into that. Other before that, I'd kind of been prevaricating because the exclusivity and lots of things like you can Twitch without doing Twitch.
right.
Um, so so for me, is that making that decision and that choice to be fully on board with the whole Twitch affiliate program. And
Yeah, that
again, do thanks to Evocracy and everyone in Casually Hardcore who kind of help push me and see the benefits of doing it.
right. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they obviously saw something in you, and honestly, that is, I think for every streamer, that's one of the most memorable moments, right? On Twitch is when you get that little email that says you made it, and like, and click your onboarding, and so that's pretty nice, and for you to have that kind of vision that this is going to happen on your birthday, and you're around a lot of people and you're sharing that, and you kind of see that this could be a thing. That's always a great thing. Well, Grayly, I just want to thank you, for coming. Is there anything you'd like to say or plug or let anybody know what's going on with GraylyRain or?
I think I'm not really, I'd like to plug the Discord really. Come
Yeah.
join us in Casually Hardcore and help us grow as a community, be part of it, and we'll be part of yours. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And,
I
and
think we're a
guys,
great group.
the link is down below in the description. Anybody want to be part of this wonderful community? I'm part of it. And there's not much more I can say about it. Great bunch of people, great group of guys and gals in there, and really along my wavelength. And so I appreciate you guys so much. So make sure to go click that link down below, become part of the CH1 Discord, and join in. And if you have any questions or anything, make sure to reach out to GraylyRain in there. And so let's thank everybody. Let's thank GraylyRain. If you don't mind sticking around for a little bit later for a little topic, and get ready for
Of course.
the What Would OG Do show. So thank you so much, Grayly.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was wonderful, wonderful interview with GraylyRain. Wonderful person. I love her to death. But this next person that's coming up is maybe the little bit of an opposite, where Grayly may be that sweet, loving person. Evocracy sometimes can be the thorn in my side, and I think I called him my cousin once. He's like my cousin, right? The one cousin that likes to poke at you, right? But I love him to death. The guy is great, super entertaining, one of the best streamers that I've ever seen on Twitch, and totally makes me want to keep doing what I do. So everybody, let's welcome Evocracy to the show. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the only person that's ever had Commander Shepard say that he was their favorite streamer on the Citadel. And this is a real thing, guys. Evocracy, welcome to the show, my man. How are you, brother?
What's up, YouTube land? Thank you so much, OG. Flattery will get you everywhere. And I actually have that Commander Shepard thing from Monkey Fist. That was actually a birthday gift.
Oh, really? So Monkey Fist hit you up. Monkey Fist, we have to talk later.
Yeah. Yeah, he set me up.
Oh, nice.
So how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm living life. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, the show was, kind of delayed, and then we had to put it on this week. But thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Well, thank you for hosting the show.
Hey, yeah, no problem, man. Anything.
So what got you into streaming?
Okay, so we're gonna do this.
I'm turning it around on you.
Oh, well, what got OG?
I'm taking over.
What got OG into streaming? Actually, you know what got OG into streaming was my nephew.
Your nephew?
My sister would not allow my nephew to play online video games with anyone else. So she would only let him play with me. And so, and don't shoot me, guys, but it was Fortnite that he wanted to play. And
that's acceptable now. Remember, because there's the no build mode.
Oh yeah. Okay, so fair enough. But this was 2018, and essentially what I did is he went around, and because he was a young kid, I don't know, maybe 11 at the time, something like that, and he told his friends that my uncle's this and that, and he's a streamer. So I had to kind of show and prove one day. So I actually streamed playing Fortnite, and all his little friends came in and thought he was just the rage, right? And after a few times, I didn't do it much, maybe once or twice. I kind of thought, like, maybe I might want to do this. And I went on to stream again, and I went to go stream Star Citizen. And it was an epic failure.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had no equipment and no nothing. So it was just an epic failure, to say the least. And but I liked it. liked it. You know, the people I met, that 2 or 3 streams I got like, I don't know, 11, 15, 10, 15 viewer or followers. I thought, oh, man, let me try this. And so I went out, got some equipment, got into Conqueror's Blade, became a content creator, and the rest is history.
Dropped Conqueror's Blade.
Yeah, and I'm here. But enough about me. What about you, Evo? I want to hear Evo's story. Like, what got Evo into streaming? Like, where did that come from?
Okay, so like Grayly, it wasn't intended. So when Justin TV came out, and then eventually got bought out by Amazon and became Twitch and everything like that, I was one of those people that's stupid. Why the heck would I want to watch somebody stream a video game that I can just play myself, right? Like, what is the point of this? And so I work for a technology company, a cell phone technology company. And I eventually got put onto the graveyard shift for doing troubleshooting, maintenance window stuff, fixing servers, things of that nature. And so I had to swap my schedule around from my family. So I still had weekends off, essentially Friday night, Saturday night, and then I would go into work Sunday late night, like around 11. And so I was on a different sleep schedule than the rest of my family. So my friends are all asleep, my family's all asleep, my kids are asleep. And I needed something to do on the weekends because you can't swap your schedule back and forth like that. It's unhealthy. And so I needed something to do. And I had some friends that were late nighters as well, that were really into watching streamers on Twitch. And so I kind of got on the bandwagon and started watching a few streams, a few different streamers that they watched. And essentially I was like, I wonder if I could do this. It would be something to do. And I've always kind of wanted to, when I was younger and through my adult life, be like a radio broadcaster, you know, a DJ or something along those lines. And so I thought, well, here's something I can do that I can get my creative outlet, because I like to do art. I like to, you know, be creative, think of outside the box and things like that, and just see if I can do it. And so I had this shitty, I think the brand was Genie, like webcam that I had gotten to try and play actually with Monkey Fist, because he was living in Portland at the time, to sit there and point down at my desk so we could play Magic the Gathering. Wow. And so I could see his cards, he could see my cards, and we could play together because we've always been really, really good friends. And a lot of our time as being friends, we've lived apart. And so I had gotten that camera, wide angle, just really shitty. It says 1080, but it's not, kind of a thing. And it says I can do 60 frames a second, but it can't, And so I set that up, and with limited knowledge of OBS, limited knowledge of what you're actually supposed to do and stuff like that, I did a test stream in December of 2017. And obviously I had like one viewer, and that was me, because Twitch would count yourself back then. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it was a test stream, I had it working right. Everything was working right. I had shitty internet at the time. I want to say we were on DSL. And so, because where I lived, they had told me that, you can't get cable. There's obviously no fiber where I was at, but you can't get cable. And then I remember after that December stream, I finally called up Charter. I was like, can I get cable here? And they're like, yeah, we'll send a technician out. And sure as shit, we can get cable. And I was like, fuck, okay, cool. So I got that, 20 megabits a second upload speed. And so I upped it, to the 720 at 60 frames a second and stuff like that. And in January is when I started hitting it hard. And I started doing research, watching tutorials on YouTube, watching other streamers, and just kind of browsing around, like lighting up their chat, networking without even knowing that that's what you're actually supposed to do. When you start out, you got to network, you got to get your name out there.
Oh yeah.
And then there's rules to that you got to follow. Yeah. And we can talk about those later. Yeah. But yeah, so I just kind of kept going at it, and I was doing really well. I was doing really, really well. I think I hit affiliate in 2.5 months, I want to say. And that was with some support of my friends, but it was mostly engaging chat whenever somebody came in or someone hosted or anything like that. Just being like, hey, wow, thanks. Not saying the number, not saying anything like that, but being absolutely sincere that you're glad that they were there, right?
Right.
And so from all that networking and talking in chats, people would eventually realize that I was also streaming and, give me a hand. So I made it really quickly compared to a lot of people, and I appreciate that. And then I was doing really well, like for having really crappy equipment and really not knowing what I was doing. I was doing really well. I was starting to, after I hit affiliate, I was creeping up 25 viewers, 30 viewers, 35 viewers,
Right.
40 viewers. I was on a steamroll, and then ended up going through a divorce. And so I had to take 6 months off, and then that really kind of killed a lot of that. And so eventually, the momentum stopped. It stopped for me. It stopped for the viewership and stuff like that. And I kind of disappeared for 6 months. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Right. When life happens, you got to take care of life. So
I'm a believer of that.
Yep. Yeah. And from personal experiences recently. Yeah, absolutely. So
IRL first, man.
So after that was all said and done, I got my place, got back on my feet, and hit the ground running. Kind of finished out. Wasn't even thinking, because I do my stuff in seasons, and so wasn't even really thinking about the seasons yet at that time. And so we refer to this time period as season 1, obviously.
Right.
And so we came back, and I did a little more art and some graphic design and stuff like that for my borders and for the webcam and things of that nature. And, just been never looked back since.
Which I will say, that is what struck. That's like what caught my eye the very first time I ever saw Evocracy. When I met him, I met Evocracy when I joined Team Invicta, right? And Evocracy is a part of Team Invicta. And when I joined, I remember going to his stream, and I had jumped around in a lot of people's stream, but Evocracy had this retro theme going on, and there was this one thing in particular, and that's what caught my eye, was the fucking Memorex tape deck. You remember that?
Yes.
And when that was going, I totally said, yo, this guy remembers those days.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally down for that. And yeah, so that's totally what caught my eye. So speaking of which, how you do it seasonally, currently you are in the off season right now.
Yes.
Right. And so what are the next projects coming up? Is there going to be so what are you now? Season 1, 2, 3, 4 so far, right? And in the off season?
And so season 5 would be next. Yep.
Okay. And are you working on it right now? Is that a project you're working on right now?
I was working on it towards the end of season 4. And so like season 1 was learning and growth, right?
Right.
Season 2 was finding my voice. And that's very important, as a streamer, is to find your voice, who you are, who you want to portray yourself as.
Right.
Because in the end, if you're going to try and be happy or be what you want to be, you've got to find your voice. And then you have to give that like 120%. Like turn your dial up on your personality 120% with that voice. That's very key. And that's, you can read that up, anywhere online or anything like that. And I found that through personal experience. Season 1, I had nothing. Like there wasn't anything that set me apart from any other, 5, 6, 7 viewer streamer, right? It's just, I was nice. I paid attention to chat. I mean, those things are obviously very important, and a lot of people don't get that. But I didn't have a voice yet. There wasn't anything, and so as people started watching me and started commenting on things, you got to pick up on what it is that they're noticing about you, right? And then you want to take the things that they notice about you that are good and dial those up to 120%. And so at season 1, there's no tongue waggles. There was no, talking about glorious sideburns. There was no nothing. I didn't have that personality. I didn't have that character of Evocracy. Because you talk to me outside of stream, I'm not Evocracy. Evocracy is 120% of me on my best days. It doesn't always happen, and it's not always going to happen for a streamer, right? But on your best days, when you're 120%, that is your streamer name. But when you're out in the real world, you know, you're you at 100%. Is you're just you, right? And so you kind of dial it up. You play a character. You want to entertain people. And so season 2 is where that kind of started coming out. The sideburns. You know, everybody's commenting on my facial hair because it's different. It is different than a lot of people. And then season 3 is when the waggles started coming in, doing tongue waggles all the time, which was something that, you know, I got from The Rock back in the WWE days, back in like 2000 and stuff like that. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking, you know? And so like, I had always done that because of that. And, you know, playing games with Monkey Fist, you know, playing Halo 3 and stuff like that. It was always like, yeah, you know, you're coming up on somebody, you get a kill, you waggle it off, right? And so that ended up becoming a thing because I would do that all the time, you know, when I'd victory and stuff like that. And then we took that to a whole new level in season 4. And so, yeah, now that we're in the off season, to get back to your question, and I apologize that I got off on a tangent
that's okay. No, that's okay. It's good to know that. Yeah.
And so after towards the end of season 4, I started working on some stuff, and you even offered to help me. Chat. OG has offered to help me with season 5. And I was coming up with this style and stuff like that. And so season 5, I want to be bigger, badder, better, uncut, you know, whatever you want to call it. And we want to do I want to do kind of like a children's show for adults, taking in kind of the best of, you know, Blue's Clues, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Pee-wee's Playhouse, a lot of these old school, shows that stick out in my mind, and you know, and even like some other ones that I was too old for, but I watched because my cousins were watching it, my younger cousins and stuff, like Bananas and Pajamas, like all these other ones, and just kind of throw it all together, come up with a really cool intro, come up with an actual show that I want to do that kind of will set apart from what I've done in the past. And of course, we'll still keep the waggles, we'll still keep talking about my glorious sideburns.
Right.
You know, we'll still keep, you know, supporting everybody in the community, and stuff like that. And we definitely want to have like you, Grayly, Monkey and stuff playing parts, you know, that you would see in a show. Like, you remember, Mr. Rogers, was it Mr. McFeely would come and deliver mail, right? You know, and Pee-wee would have, you know, the chair and puppets and stuff like that. And we want to do that, you know. And as at the end of season 4, I was realizing this is going to be a lot of fucking work, right? Yeah. Well, a lot of work. And there's a lot of stuff that I still don't know how to do, because you're always trying to learn and evolve as a streamer. You're trying to, you know, you're trying to have fun with it. And like Grayly was saying, you know, it's not a partner that I'm looking for. I'm looking for my own fulfillment. Because when you're trying for partner and you go for that partner push, when you're ready for that partner push doesn't end. You know, as Grayly was saying, you have to push all the time, always, right? And so that's definitely something that maybe that'll get me to that point where I feel like I want to do that. But right now, I just want to create something artful, fun, hilarious, that has some great moments to clip or highlight or something like that I can look back on when I'm older and rewatch those and just smile. You know, and just
that's
smile.
A good way to put it. Well, you know, and that's something that my mother said to me, right? A legacy, right? This is your legacy, right? And so you want to be able to, not just for your own fulfillment, but for people to remember you by, your children, family members, friends, somewhere that they can go back to and say, hey, man, like Monkey Fist was saying in chat, he says he remembers the early days of your streaming, right? And it was janky as hell, right? So it's like, you know, it's like, you know, and those are memories. Those are memories that are always going to be with Monkey Fist, and that's a part of your legacy. It's something you provided him with, you know, and it's something that you have yourself. But, you know, that's funny because you kind of answered the goals there, you know, like, did you have any goals for your channel? And you kind of like put it out there that you're trying to put together season 5, and you have this idea and you have this goal in mind that I want season 5 to be bigger, badder, bolder, a lot more entertaining in that sense of what you're going to bring to the table. And I look forward to helping you out as much as I can. We need to really sit down one day and just hammer out some ideas, man, and see if we can make it happen, because you're right. this isn't easy shit, dude. This is this can be rough. But you know, with that being said, you know, like talking about memories and things that you did as a content creator, what is something that's memorable to you? Like what is it that you just kind of sticks with you that I remember this day wholeheartedly, and
so it was the day that my metal was tested as a streamer, and that would have been in season 2, and that is the time that will eventually come. If you are active and networking and stuff like that, particularly like partner streams and stuff like that. And Magic the Gathering is a game that I've played since 3rd edition. So we're talking 1993. And I want to say I've played that off and on over the years for a very long time. And so there was MTGO, which is the online version that came out a long ass time ago.
Okay.
And Magic had just come out with what is it? Magic Arena? Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, it's Arena now.
Yeah, Arena. And they had just come out with that. And so I decided, what the fuck? I'm going to try and I'm going to stream this. Okay. And if you know anything about any kind of tabletop card game, the people tend to be very elitist. Many of them, they know what's best. They know, you should play it this way. You should play to this meta. And I'm a person that I hate meta in any kind of game. I like to break the meta. I don't like to be, I don't know. I don't want to say that you're sheeple for following the meta because like you have to in some situations, but I don't like to be told what to do and how to play a game. Yes. And so I was like, let's do Arena, right? And so we're playing Arena. The normal people are in there. I think Monkey was probably there. Pithy Plinth was probably there. This was before I knew Grayly. And, I'm going through and I'm probably about an hour and a half in, 2 hours in. And all of a sudden a raid comes through. And so I'm getting ready, and I'm like, oh, sweet. And I look at the number and it's like 297 or some shit, right? And I'm in season 2. I still haven't even found my pace. I haven't found my voice. And, I think my average viewer at that time was, like 13. I want to say 10 or 13. And I was just like, oh my God, this huge partner streamer brought over this many people to watch me play Magic the Gathering. And these people are probably, in my head, I'm like, these people are probably elitist. I'm playing a new set that I haven't played before. They're going to backseat game the hell out of me.
You know it.
And, I'm freaking the fuck out. I am trying to stay as cool, confident, and reserved as I can on stream, being like, oh man, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. How was your stream? All the different stuff that you do when anybody raids. But inside, I was just feeling terror, absolute terror. It's like, this is an opportunity. You've got, over 200 viewers, almost 3. And, you're playing a competitive game and there's a meta involved and you don't actually know the whole set and you've put these decks together and stuff like that. And just absolutely nerve-wracking. So, yeah, I will never forget that. But I did keep my calm, and I talked with people about the meta. It's very, nice and stuff like that. And, like, taking advice and being like, oh, yeah, no, I haven't seen that card yet. I don't have it yet. We're just trying out the new set and stuff like that. And it really tested my mettle. And I think I came out of that really well. And so that was when I was like, okay, I can handle this again. So, like, I think now, as a streamer, if someone came in and rated me with like 1,000 or 800 or 500 or 100 or whatever, which has happened, I've gotten the 100 raid before, or the 86 or the whatever. It doesn't affect me anymore. It doesn't change who I am, doesn't change how I act. And so yeah, that's probably the big moment that I remember from streaming, because I remember how terrified I was.
Right.
Absolutely terrified.
Well, it is terrifying. I'll never forget when I was doing Twitch drops for Conqueror's Blade, right?
Oh, God, yes, Wesker. I do love slivers.
and I was just getting hit left and right, me and Puff, and I mean like, and it's the same for me. It tested me also, right?
Hmm.
It made me go, you know what? The number doesn't matter. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just just keep rolling with it, right?
Yep.
And don't freak out that there's all these
Hmm.
people watching you, right?
But you are freaking out internally.
But you are.
You've got
Yeah,
the
you
mask on, Yeah. Yep.
but hey, we do what we do, and with that being said, man, Evocracy, you're gonna keep doing what you're gonna be doing, man, because we're gonna
Hmm.
continue watching you. You are definitely the anchor and the backbone, I feel, to CH1 and even to Invicta, man. You're one of the heavy hitters right now. I have a lot of respect for you, dude. And you already know. You already know. I know we poke fun at each other all the time, but there's an absolute respect between each other. And
Oh, absolutely not.
for anybody for anybody that doesn't know, whenever I personally have some kind of like something that's bothering me, or I have questions about my own streaming and things like that, this is the person I actually come to. I come to Evocracy, and I talk to Evocracy, man, about industry stuff, and
It's because I'm Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block, and not to mention he probably has a fat ass caboose too. But I don't know, man.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
damn.
go there on that.
Damn.
But with that being said, is there anything else you want to let the people know? You want to plug yourself or something, or?
There is another project that we are working on in CH1 between me, Grayly, and Monkey Fist and Trey Day, and it's we've been talking about this for a while. And it just hasn't had the chance to come to fruition because it has to line up for people. But we are actually going to be doing a radio show hopefully sometime within the next month or two. We don't know what day or time, but it will be a weekend thing, and it'll be very similar. If you've ever listened to Bob and Tom, it should be very similar to that, with special guests and musical guests and things of that nature. So, and once we get it going, we'll definitely have you on the show, OG.
Oh, nice.
So,
Yeah, it'd be wonderful. Yeah. I definitely would appreciate and love to show up. But you know what? With you talking about a radio show, there's something I might want to talk to you about a little bit later on after the show. But with that being said, everyone, big old Evocracy in the house. I love this guy to death. Please stick around for our next topic that we got to play with here.
Absolutely.
Guys, I just adore these people here at CH1. And, I mean, the whole crew, just a lovely bunch of people. But we're going to bring our guests back, and we are going to talk about tonight's topic. So welcome back, Grayly. Welcome back, Evocracy. And this will help kind of like piggyback off some of the stuff that we've been talking about this evening, right? And some of that stuff is that there are people out there that do have this dream of wanting to be a streamer, right, or a content creator or something like that. And sometimes, and it's kind of odd because Grayly mentioned it about like the burnouts. You mentioned about how hard it is, the work, to put into to doing this. And sometimes, people have this idea that it's you just push a button and you just do your thing, right? And then when it doesn't happen for them, they kind of, they lose that momentum, and instead they get negative about it and stuff like that. So, I mean, feel free, guys. So, like, what are some of the things that you would tell someone that's trying to start out and be a streamer? Like take me as a noob, and I'm sitting here and I've seen your streams and everything like that, and I come to you guys and I'm like, hey, I want to become a streamer. What do I need to do to be that? What would be one of the first things you tell those people?
Don't be like Grayly. Go ahead, Grayly. Go first.
No, I'd say don't be like Evo.
Uh-huh.
No, I mean honestly, truthfully, I would say don't let anything hold you back. Whatever you want to do it. Don't
Right.
But think it through too as well, right? I
Right.
think uh and get into the networking, right? Like it's a part of it. You've got to get to know people and find a way to give back as well.
True,
You know,
true.
like um
Well, it's definitely,
yeah.
it was always something that I always said, like streamers support streamers. And it doesn't necessarily mean like monetarily or something like that. It means network
Mhm.
wise, right? Because you got to put yourself out there. I mean, like, you have to go out, you have to meet other streamers, you have to interact with them. I mean, hell, that's why there's a TwitchCon, right? I mean, TwitchCon is essentially a humongous event where streamers go to meet other streamers, right? I mean, it's not just to know what's the latest and greatest going on with Twitch. It's
I
really
gotta disagree with you there, OG. It's not. I've
oh,
been there
it's not.
twice.
Okay,
It's
well,
not. It's where streamers will meet. You will meet one or two, right? And there are going to be
right.
streamers out there that are honestly that take that to heart, but they do it in a way that is off-putting. They make business cards with their Twitch address on. They just start handing it out to everybody.
Right.
I don't know. Have you been to a TwitchCon, OG?
No, this will be my first.
Okay.
Hopefully this
Okay.
year.
So we should talk about this afterwards because it's
Okay.
not what you're thinking. Because I went into it my first time thinking the exact same thing that you're thinking right now. But honestly, the best thing about TwitchCon is meeting your streamer friends there and having a good time.
And
That's it.
wow.
Anything else isn't worth it.
Well, maybe we
It
can
is
break
literally
the mold.
meeting the people that you like and that you have in your community or your circle, and having just a hell of a time with them.
Well, maybe we can break the mold. I'm coming after you. I'm giving you a high five. I don't give a damn. You're going to high five me. And we're going to do that on camera. No, I don't know. But, so, okay. So, all right. Well, but anyways, it is a networking thing though, right? 'Cause
Yes.
that's kind of how
It
Twitch,
completely, for
that's
sure.
how we support each other, right? Like, because once you start to get to know other people and once you kind of have your little circle of people that you interact with, your communities start to meld together, right? So it's like, I mean, I'll take us for example, right? Some of your community has now melded with me. Some of my community has melded with you guys, and we network with each other. We just kind of, it's kind of like we jumped in the same washing machine together, right? And we just swirling around together. And the more that you go out there and you do that and you touch other streamers' lives, those streamers are going to come back and touch your lives, right? At some point. But I will say with a warning, um, don't expect it though, right? Don't expect
Exactly.
it.
That's
Just because you network with a streamer, don't expect that streamer is going to network with you back, right?
Correct. Absolutely. And you don't want to go in saying, "Hey, I'm a streamer too." If you want it to happen,
old school.
and here's the thing: when you're networking, and a lot of people just think you network with everybody and then you lurk. That's not how it works. You need to find find a streamer and sit there and watch them, over and over again, and actually converse with them in
Chat
their
with them.
chat.
Get to know them.
Talk to their community in their chat, and you do all this without being obtuse and being like, "Hey, I'm a streamer." The self-promoting is something you never want to do in anybody's stream.
Proper streamer etiquette.
Eventually, one of them's going to click on your name and figure it out. You join a Discord, you can talk about it outside. You can be like, "Hey, I noticed this about your stream. How did you do this?"
Right.
Outside of the stream, in their Discord, in their community, and being a part of that. And then without saying you're a streamer, you're saying you're a streamer, and if they like you, they're going to check you out. And if they check you out, chances are eventually they're going to raid you because they like you, right?
Right.
And if they like your content and stuff like that. But for every one of those streamers that you network with, there will be 10, 15, 20 others that will never do that for you. And you have to be able to go through and find the ones that are worth networking with. And that's a big part of it. And it does take a lot of effort because you have to find them and then you have to watch them and you have to watch them. But if you enjoy their content, it shouldn't be, like a pain in the ass in that way. But it does take your time. It does take your time. And I think that's
the flip side of it is too that Yeah, you want people to possibly return the favor, but again, it's about managing those expectations and knowing when to let some of those other people that aren't, letting them go, letting things go,
Mhm.
Right,
um,
right.
and
I think we've had a
focusing
talk about
focusing
this.
back.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we've had a talk about this before, about, um, you know, who you're sending your community to,
for
and
sure.
what do they represent? And, is it along the same guidelines or the same views that you
And
have, or,
yeah, and that's another thing too that you can do is like when you are streaming, and don't worry about the number that you have. If the streamer that you are like that you appreciate, that you are part of their community, is worth a penny in your pocket at the minimum, if you raid them with one person or two people or three because you're growing, you're just starting, they're going to appreciate it. Just the fact that you're showing that. And that's also saying, hey, I'm a streamer too. And that's the
right,
one good way to do it.
right.
And so,
Yeah,
so
and I
yeah,
kind of
don't be
found that
ashamed of
it's
your viewership. A lot of people will just cut their stream because they got two people watching or one or three. Don't be afraid. Get that notification on somebody else's stream.
and you
Gets
don't
your name out there, and someone may check you out. You never
right.
know.
And
Well,
just to kind of piggyback off of that, I actually know what you're talking about. I don't actually like, I've been caught many times. I say it in a lot of people's streams sometimes that, they'll try to shout me out or something like that, or they try to talk about me as a streamer or something. And I tell them, hey, man, this is your stream. It's about you right now, right? It's not,
Hmm.
don't worry
exactly.
about me,
Yeah.
dude. Don't worry about me,
Hmm.
you know? And, when you come to my stream, instead of allowing people, because you're right, there is a certain kind of etiquette and some unwritten rules that Twitch kind of has, right? It's like, what's that old card, when you play cards, you don't table talk, right? You don't table talk, right? So it's the same thing, you don't sit there and you start blurting out you're a streamer and stuff like that. You do it in other kind of ways, you can whisper them, you can hit them with DMs or something like that. But in my channel, I've started to know who the streamers are that are active that come to my channel, and I blast them out there. I give them that prop already, so that they don't have to feel the need that they need to come in there and start feeling like they have to self promote themselves or anything like that. Because me personally, that's just what I'm all about, anyways. I feel like I'm one of those guys. I like to network. I like to introduce people to other people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's kind of one of the things that I personally like to do is shout people out. But you're right. In a sense, we've had talks about this, about shouting out too many, and who you shout out, right? You kind of have to keep it to a minimum. So I've been cutting down my shout out board here. I've gotten rid of some of the people that don't truly come around anymore. But
Hmm.
yeah. But do you think it's not? Do you think it's more than just networking? Do you guys think that
Oh, for
equipment
sure.
matters? Do you think that, um,
I
like,
think
let's say,
equipment matters less than learning the craft and looking at
right?
streaming as a craft and approaching it like, I mean, I'm a teacher in real life, right? So I consider myself to be a lifelong learner. And when you go into a stream and you're watching a streamer, you can tell when someone's taken the time to learn the different aspects, to learn how to be more entertaining, but not just on the entertainment side, but also on the technical side when they've got,
Okay,
you know, when they've got that production value to it, right? And including which I'm not fully at, will fully admit, right? I'm not fully there yet. But I've only just started,
well,
and
that can be solved pretty easily, right?
it can be, but I think if you're not, one of the things that I've noticed in my time and years on Twitch watching streamers is that a lot of people, when Twitch puts out new things, like I remember when rating became a thing and how it used to be done, right? And
Right.
how different streamers felt about, when you raided and how you were supposed to raid. And then Twitch introduced a raid feature, a function. And then I would see streamers like not really picking up on that, or when the channel point redemptions came out, like so, and there are still people, still streamers out there today on Twitch who've been twitching a long time, and they're not taking advantage of those. They're not learning about them. They're not finding ways to approach it and find a way. I mean, there are these great interactive tools. Why wouldn't you want to use them with your
Right.
chat?
Right.
So to me, it's about approaching it as a craft as much as it's about networking. You know, when you approach something as a learner and you're looking at all those things, it shows. It shows when you go
Right.
into their channel.
Okay, well, with that being said, with you saying that, okay, then that's good that you bring up craft. It's learning something, a skill, a trade, just like anyone in any kind of industry, right? You know if they do a good work, and you know if they don't. So what?
Yeah.
When do you draw the line? When do you tell someone, or do you ever tell anyone? Like if they're coming at you and they're asking you, like, why isn't it working for me? Why isn't it this happening? And like, do you see that they just, like, okay, well, maybe this craft isn't good for you? Like, I mean, like, how do you approach something like that? Like, do you?
First off, I
Because
think if someone's coming to you, they're already ahead of the game. It's the ones who aren't
right,
who is
right.
like, ah. But if someone's taking notice and is bothering to ask someone that they feel uh, is going to be able to help them with that, then that's already the first step, the best step.
Right.
Um,
Okay. But what if there is, so for example, like there's a content creator known as Harris Heller, and I'm pretty sure that most people know who Harris Heller is.
No
Alpha
idea.
Gaming, Senpai Music Records.
yeah.
So Harris Heller put out a video once, and he basically essentially, and it was kind of a harsh video, honestly. It was a harsh video on streaming tips and stuff like that, and he specifically states in there, not all of you are going to be streamers. He specifically puts it in there that
He's right.
He kind of mentions it the way that you mentioned. This is a craft. This is something that you either got it or you don't. And you got to learn how to do it, right? And if you don't do it, and you don't practice it, and you don't put in the effort every single day, and you work on it and work on this craft, you're just not going to make it, right? And there's nothing you
Even
can
if you
about
do,
it.
there's no guarantee that you're going to make it.
Right, and that's even for me. That's for anyone, right? Like me, I consider myself small potatoes, right? So like,
I mean, we all are right now.
yeah. And there's no guarantee that I'm ever going to make it. But you guys have enlightened me enough to understand that maybe what is truly
What
the
is
definition
making
of
it? What
making
is
it? Yeah,
success?
exactly. What's the definition of making it? Right? Does that mean partner? Well, partner doesn't necessarily guarantee. Because there's people that aren't partner that still have a successful streaming career, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, once you do the partner push, it does not stop. And there's a lot of partners that once they hit partner, they stop the push. And then you've got these partners that are, at 20, 15, 10 viewers, 3 viewers, but they're in it. They're a partner, but they're not getting what a partner should be getting, right? So,
it's like a dynasty basketball team that's won a championship. There's a difference between a dynasty and those one-off ones that just won it, and then after they've already won it, they just didn't have the motivation or the push to go out and win another one, as opposed to one that wants to win 3 in a row, right? So it's like, it makes a lot of sense. So do you feel then that with all of that these new up-and-coming streamers do need stuff like that? Do they need mentorship? Do they need their streams to look a certain way? Do they need, and I go back to the equipment again, do they need certain equipment to make them to make their show pop and make them become more visible? Do you think
it helps?
All of it adds up?
But it helps in the fact that it shows that you take it seriously and that you are dedicated and trying to have a good time. But it's not 100% necessary. Like I said, I had this Genie camera, which was like just one of the shittiest webcams ever, and I had an old computer. Even at that time, I was still running a bulldozer, AMD bulldozer, with I think a 7870 graphics card.
I don't even
like
know what that
it
is.
wasn't good. It wasn't good. Like it was a low end by that time. It was a mid-range back in 2012, 2011. But by the time I started streaming in 2018, it was not a mid-range anymore, right? So,
man.
and I was still able to get up to 30, 35, 40 viewers, depending on the game that I was playing,
Right.
and that can be part of it too. Don't expect yourself to grow playing Apex at 1 or 2 viewers and getting random people to see your stream. You are playing a game that has so many other people in that pond that you're not going to grow without some kind of help from somebody else that's a bigger fish in that pond, right? Or outside of that pond, and then getting people to stick around from raids and stuff like that so that you bump yourself up. Because there are a lot of people on Twitch that will hit that browse button and look for someone new to watch.
Right.
But you got to be towards the top of the page. You can sort it this way, that way, and everything like that. And Twitch tries with the algorithm, just like YouTube tries with the algorithm. But the algorithm's never perfect. Pick a game that you like that doesn't have a whole lot of people, vying for the same viewership.
So that brings up a good question. Are you the one trick pony? Like the guy that, like, what do you think you gain more success in? Streaming one game and sticking to that game, or a variety streamer?
Variety streamer is always going to trump, but always going to take 3, 4, 5 times as long to get to where you want to go if you have a goal of being a partner.
Okay. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you are a one-trick pony, once that game dies, a lot of people find their community dies with it. Right. And I think that even in that regard, you probably understand that with Conqueror's Blade a little bit, OG.
Oh yeah.
So
it's dying off.
Yep. And so, like, as a variety streamer, you're more focused. If you're going to do variety streams, you have to be more focused on your community than the game. So generally, your streamers that are going to be focused on what you call a one-trick pony, or they could be a one-genre pony, honestly, is what they tend to do. They're a one-genre pony, like FPS, RTS, something along those lines, strategy, music, whatever. Those people can grow faster within that genre, but they have to stick to that genre. And they're usually really, really, really good players, right? Their gameplay is what people are there to see, or their talent is what people are there to see. Whereas as a variety streamer, you're more of an entertainer because you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you might get stuck into a game at times. Like, I still consider myself a variety streamer, but I mean, almost all of season 4, I played Dead by Daylight Grayly, right?
Yeah, pretty
much. And so, like, you can still be in that situation, but every once in a while, I'd switch it up and I'd play something different. But it does take time, and you're more community based. You're trying to grow the community. You're trying to actually talk to chat and network and stuff like that. Whereas in the other interim with the specific style of streamer, you don't have to be as focused on that. But there are positives and negatives to both sides.
Nice. Yeah, definitely pros and cons to doing them both. I've seen guys that do one game, and their follower count growth is just enormous, right? But I've also seen those same individuals who, once that game has died off or they switched off of that game, a lot of that community has left them too. And I do see what you mean about being a variety streamer. Me personally, I'm a variety streamer. I have gamer ADD. Obviously, I switch up games more than my underwear, right?
A lot of streamers do.
Yeah, and it's like, but I realized something, because it's not actually about the game, right? It's more about my community, and so I've been noticing that I've actually been playing more games lately like Conqueror's Blade had me where I would get into these battles and I'd have to focus, right,
Hmm.
on the
Hmm.
battle, and I totally would forget that chat was talking to me, right? And then I
Mm.
started playing these new games, Star Citizen, the farm sim, the truck driver dudes, where it has all this layoff time where it allows you to interact with your community so much more. And I've noticed I've been going to those kind of games where I want to play games that don't necessarily push me into focusing so hard that I forget about the community, right?
Hmm.
Which I think
Hmm.
is one of the most important things to being a streamer, which can lead to the next question, that engagement. Would you feel that engagement with your chat and community is probably one of the biggest key successes to a streamer?
Top top priority.
Right.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah. And it's one thing that scares me. So like right now, it's not even in my thoughts necessarily, but when I was thinking about it, becoming a partner and having like 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 3,000 people viewing you, and all of them chatting and not being able to respond to everyone sounds horrible to me.
Yes.
So like
Like it
if
scares the
I
hell out of me.
if I actually made it at some point in my life to a partner, I would hope to gosh that I never got above 300 viewers or 400 viewers,
Right.
because there would just be no way that I could keep up with everybody and make sure that everybody's feeling welcome and that they're
Not
having a
the way
good
we like
time.
to.
Not the way that we like to right now. So there is a pro to being an affiliate and staying there or staying low.
Right.
Now,
Right.
granted, if I'm at 20,000 viewers and I'm making like, well, what these people are making, like 60 to 300, $400,000 a month, I mean, I'm not going to complain.
No,
But
why would you?
but I would still do my fucking damnedest
Right.
to ensure
Right.
that everybody felt welcome and that I would at least get a chance to speak at least once to every single person that is in that chat at somehow, some way, right?
Well, I actually remember saying this one time to chat, is that one of the biggest fears of being a streamer is that coming to a point like that where it's so large that you forget the people that used to be there when you were only one or two or three streamers, right? And they get lost within
Mhm.
your chat. And so that's going to be something tough to deal with, because I look at these other streamers that are big time, and they have anywhere between 1,000 to 20,000 viewers, and the chat is going so fast. I might personally can't keep up with it. Like I can't even read it. So it's like, and it's funny sometimes because I see that streamer and they'll just pick one thing out. They'll
Well, you
just
have to.
they catch
What can you
the
do?
first thing,
Right?
Oh yeah, blah, 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 and it's gone. So it's like, by the time that the rest of the chat is answering the one thing you just commented, it comes minutes later, because it's going all through all the other thousand.
Yeah, even in slow-mo.
Yeah.
And these people are in slow-mo mode.
And these are some good things to talk about, because
Well,
being
Twitch
part of
just
the
came out
Twitch
with that creative
research
chat.
community, yeah.
Oh yeah.
They want to know things like this, so this could be some things to bring up to their attention and stuff like that. But yeah, I think anything else you guys want to add to anybody out there trying to start up in the streaming career, and
Just do it because you want to do it, not because you're trying to be something that you're not.
there you go.
Boom.
That's it.
And ultimately be yourself.
Mhm.
I
Right.
know that,
Right.
this persona thing sort of idea, and you're definitely 120%, but if you're inauthentic on some level, I think that shows
People will
through.
catch
So
on. Yep.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that definitely is. I think we've
do
talked
it
about
for
this, Grayly.
the reasons you want to do, right? Like not everybody's wants to be a partner, or wants to be a big streamer, or wants to push for anything. Some of us are just out there doing it as a hobby, and or they're just for the social aspects of it,
Right. Right.
So it's knowing too what your what you're in it for, right? Being
Right.
very clear about your own goals and your boundaries as well is something I'm still kind of learning and about myself is
Yeah, I think we were talking about this the other day, like ways to protect yourself
yeah,
as a streamer, as a content creator. Like, what's too
for
much?
sure.
Where's that boundary? Where's that line? You know. Um,
Mm.
but I will say this.
Don't get disheartened either when your numbers ebb and flow,
Oh man,
because that happens. That's a natural thing of Twitch. You know, you hit that summertime, everybody's going out and doing stuff. You hit that wintertime, people are spending time with their families. It's in the in betweens. It's up and down. Don't worry about it. Just keep plugging forward.
I mean, from my part, it's been very helpful having, someone that has been streaming as long as Evo to kind of bounce ideas off of. So finding people to bounce ideas off of, like as you yourself know, OG, it's immensely helpful just to be able to kind of go to someone and say, "What do
Yeah.
you think about this? Uh, how could I improve?" Being hungry, but hungry for yourself, not hungry for identifying what that success means to you. What's that going to look like?
And and you bring up a good point about going to people and asking how to improve. You need to be able to accept feedback. You're
Yes.
if you're one of these
Take
people,
criticism.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you can't handle that, if you can't take it, dude, this isn't the industry for you, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to hear what your chat is saying. If your chat tells you, and this has happened to me before, chat has come to me before and said, "Yo, man, your overlay's kind of taking up space that we can't see, man. Can you switch it up? Can you do things like that?" And I did. I was like, "Oh yeah, I heard it. Okay, fine." Even though it looked great to me, it didn't look great to the chat, right? Chat wanted to see more of what they could see, and I'm actually doing even more to minimalize even more. So, it's a constant work on that criticism. But I'm going to tell you something, Grayly. Monkey Fist is being a naughty boy. You're probably going to have to. You're gonna probably have to take care of Monkey Fist, but yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. That was a lot of great tips, a lot of great information. I think it was more along the lines of just the understanding in the mind of a streamer of what we go through when we stream. Not so much on like technical tips or anything like that. It was more of like. The follow through, honestly. Once you start down this road, the expectations, what to know to do, and when they do happen, don't get down on yourself. Have that follow through, push through, and make those connections with other streamers and accept that criticism, accept that feedback. Try to. This is, like you said, mastering a craft. You have to evolve. I mean, if you're a welder and you make shitty welds, you want a journeyman welder to tell you those are shitty welds, man. You need to you need to work those better, or else you could put someone's life in danger, right? So, it's definitely a good knowledge to bring to people, and I hope that a lot of the people that watch this video or anybody else new that watches this video gets a lot of information out of this if they're looking to do that. And once again, great CH1 advice across the board.
I could talk about this for days. You might have to have us back.
Yeah, we might want to do this. We'll do follow-up stream on some of this stuff, because this is definitely a topic that could probably go on like literally for hours, right? Because and especially in the state of where streaming and Twitch is right now, and in direct competition with YouTube, which we're on right now, it's, those are questions, Twitch or YouTube, you know what I mean? Like, but we'll definitely, we'll do a follow up and we'll do something like that. And
that'd be great.
We'll bring you guys back. Yeah, we'll bring you guys back. Yeah, man. Yeah, chat, let me know. You guys want them back? Well, you don't have any say. I'm going to bring them back anyway. So, so what we're going to do now that I got you here, we're going to close out the show with this nice, wonderful little game that I like to play with my guests, right? Because if anybody doesn't know, OG is just kind of off the hook. I am an older guy, but you would swear to God that I was a teenager. I have pretty much the most immature attitude of a lot of things in this world, and I really don't care. And so we're going to play a little game called What Would OG Do? And basically, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And chat, feel free to play along as always. And you guys just kind of mull it over amongst yourselves and think to yourselves, what would OG actually do, right? So tonight, and during my monologue, we had a very, very interesting story about a man masturbating on a plane. If OG, given the opportunity to masturbate on a flight, would OG do it? What would OG do?
Only if he was in the cockpit.
If I'm in the cockpit. Oh, God. You know?
On that one, I'm going to have to say I don't think OG would actually do that. I think he's got more class than that. At least I hope so. I don't think OG would do it.
I don't think he'd do it like like the man in the story.
If he was on acid, maybe.
Well, okay, well, here's the thing. Would OG do it? Well, it depends, first of all, which decade, right? Which age, first of all. Second.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 14-year-old OG? Absolutely. He'd think he was in the Mile High Club with himself.
And that's the thing. So I don't know. Maybe, not in public. I probably wouldn't do it right there in the seat. Now that was pretty bold.
That's what I was. That was yes.
Yeah, that was pretty bold. But maybe 14-year-old OG seeing some hot flight attendant. Yeah, I might want to go make a delivery at the spank
to the lavatory.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
See what white and blue makes when you mix it together.
I will tell you this though. OG, as an older fella, OG would probably just look and say, I've been there, done that. It wouldn't appeal to me. It wouldn't
older
even appeal
OG
to me.
would have a lady with him.
Yeah, exactly. You got it, Grayly. Grayly's got me. She's got me pegged. It ain't gonna be me doing it by myself. We are definitely gonna try out the Mile High Club, right? So, with that being said, leads to the next question. I don't know what chat would think. I think chat thinks that I would do it. Yes, young OG probably would do it, but in the lavatory. But I would tell you this: if OG did do it. This brings up a really good topic that me and Grayly have been pondering over for days now. For days! If OG did do it and got caught and in trouble and kicked off the flight, would I then, upset because I can't make my flight, sit in that airport and angry masturbate?
Oh, jeez.
What would OG do? Could I get off angry masturbation because I know I'm about to miss my flight? I'm banned now for life from Southwest Airlines. I cannot fly on this flight anymore. I couldn't think of any other time. I mean, if you masturbate 4 times.
A question. I do not remember who told me this or who said this or put those 2 words together, but it's like
probably Monkey.
I don't know who it was, literally. And I was like, so then I asked, is this a thing? Is this a thing?
Could it even be possible? What would OG do? Would OG angry masturbate because couldn't catch that flight? I think I would not, because I'm going to go.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could, because you'd be in handcuffs. And if once you got to prison or jail and you did that would be a terrible idea.
You're right. Would I do it in prison then at that point?
No.
You're right. I wouldn't. I'd probably be sitting there going, "How the fuck am I going to get out of this situation?"
That'd be the worst thing you could possibly do in jail or prison. I mean, if you value your body.
Right. Okay. Well, you're right. I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't even fathom it in my head. I can't even fathom where angry masturbation comes from. I don't even know who.
Apparently, it was literally monkey fist.
Well, it's like hate fucking.
It was monkey fist. Yeah, it's like
it's a form of hate fucking. I mean, it exists. It does.
How?
I mean, you're so angry. You gotta. Some people you gotta relieve that pressure somehow and that anger and release it. It's just a self form of an angry fuck. I mean,
right.
And it is a thing. I mean, for some people, I've done the I don't know what you want to call it, the former or the latter at this point. I mean, it's happened. So, I really don't like you, but let's get it on.
Right, let's get it on. Okay. Well, with that, we'll move on to something different. We'll move on to something different because I really don't know how to fathom angry masturbation. So it's really tough. And I've been pondering this for a few days now, and there's just never, ever, there's just not a situation that pops in my head that says that I'd be able to do this. So I can't. And for the first time, I'm stumped. I feel essentially stumped. Like I can't answer that question. Yeah, right? I can't answer that question. Okay, well, with that being said, me and Grayly talked about something that she didn't know existed, right? If OG was like Steve Irwin, like an adventure,
the crocodile hunter.
Yes,
okay,
animal guy, and I happen upon a python mating ball. Would OG dive into this python mating ball to try to break it up? Just to get the shot?
The fuck kind of question is that? How did you even come up with that?
I told you.
How did you even come up with that question? What led to coming up to that? Who even thinks of something like that? Oh my God. Well, a lot of snakes do it, yeah.
So you just come up on it, and you're like, crikey.
But why would you break it up? That's like snake cock blocking. Or actually, that's like snake hemipenes blocking.
I mean, there's so many snakes. Why did it have to be snakes, first of all?
Oh, okay. We're going back to that now.
Leave them their privacy.
I mean, are you literally going in there to break it up, or are you going in there to show your audience how this works? I mean,
okay, so I would assume,
because you said Steve Irwin, so right,
he's going to get up in it, right?
He's going to get up in there, but not to stop it though. He's going to get up in there to I
may not necessarily want to stop it. Okay.
So
this is
because you said you wanted to get in there and break it up.
And break it up, right? But not necessarily to break it up to stop it, but break it up to show you. Because
okay, absolutely. Then you would.
I think I'm intrigued. I personally have never seen a python penis.
It's not a penis. It's a hemipenes.
See?
You should look it up. It's interesting.
And there you go. See, and I would want to be educated. I would want to show it off. And then throw.
You're gonna wish that you had one.
Intriguing.
But yes, you would.
Yeah, now I'm a little intrigued. Now I want to see this.
You would.
Definitely going
to. Hemipenes are interesting. It's an interesting thing. It's been around a lot longer than the other one. So.
Monkey fist is crazy. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. So there you go. So I would do it for educational purposes, right?
Oh, we would all do a lot of things for educational purposes, OG.
Right.
If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. So for this next question, it's a little off the educational tip, right? And this is just
tip.
Just the tip.
Just the
Okay,
tip.
we're gonna go to a darker side of OG, right?
Oh.
So where
Sounds
I live-
rough.
Where I live, there's a humongous homeless population, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, and I'm not down talking homeless people or anything like that, but it's just hard for them to be able to bathe or to be able to clean themselves up, which something should be done about it, right? But that's not the topic of this. It's not to have a homeless debate. What it is, though, is to know and understand that when you think homeless, it doesn't mean straight degen, right? Some homeless people, and in particular, homeless women, may be hot. Just happens that way, right?
Oh, no.
People just lose their homes. So would OG,
Oh, no.
if given the opportunity that I just was walking down the street, happened to see a hot homeless chick, and she wanted to party, would OG take a belly shot off a hot, dirty homeless chick?
Yes. I'm not even going to have to think about that. Absolutely you would. Because you a dirty motherfucker. Absolutely.
I'm going to say no. OG wouldn't. OG wouldn't do that. I think it would be, it would turn.
No, he's going to think he's doing a shot off the stomach. The alcohol is going to kill anything bad. What the fuck? Why not? That's exactly how OG's going to think about it.
Oh my God, Evocracy. You know me too well, bro.
She's hot.
So here's the deal.
That's what he said. That was the key phrase.
If I was not, obviously I
Not married, obviously.
Not married,
right.
obviously. Of
Obviously, I
course.
wouldn't do it married. But he's absolutely right. They used alcohol as an antiseptic back in the days, man.
They still do.
If she was hot and I didn't see track marks or anything, and she's like, "Hey, big boy, want to take a belly shot
Oh,
off
Lordy.
me?" I probably just might.
He'd make a donation too to do it.
I mean,
Just
come
like
on.
$20 and you can do this off my stomach, and OG'd be like, ah.
All in it, waggles, right? I mean, because why not? That's a story of a lifetime. And be able to tell somebody that you took a body shot off a hot homeless chick. Oh man, that's come on.
OG, I'm disappointed.
She's just disappointed that she was wrong.
Hey, I'm just saying. You know, there is a time that OG was not innocent, okay? Just understand this. There was
Wait,
a time.
there's a time where you
I
were?
understand it.
What?
Well,
You came out of the womb not innocent, from what I understand.
Like a lucid innocence, okay? it's there. It's
Oh, no, Wes.
foggy, right?
I know.
Oh my God, Wes is crazy. Okay, and with that being said, guys, we come to the last question, and you guys don't have to answer it. We'll leave it for the chat in the comments down below. If OG were to run for president, would he, and what would be his first decree? Thank you guys so much. Thank all these beautiful, wonderful people for showing up to the show. Thank you, Grayly. Thank you, Evocracy. You guys are so awesome. I'm just glad we made it to the end of the show, man. And with all you
I
guys
told
out
you.
there-
I told you an hour wasn't going to be long enough.
Yeah,
I told you.
You're right about that. You're right. But you know what? Like, subscribe, comment down below, ring that bell, answer that question, and we will see you guys next time.
Thank all of you wonderful viewers for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and ring that notification bell. Until next time, you sexy souls, this has been the After Hours with my fantastic wonder of the world, OG.